What is the first thing that pops into your head when you think about ancient Egypt? Is it the scary mummies? Or the towering pyramids? Or maybe their ancient spells and curses? Whatever it is, we can't just put a finger on a couple of aspects to talk about this great civilization that lasted more than 5,000 years, from small tribes to a functioning country. So let's dive into some of the elemental facts about ancient Egypt and its civilization. Hey there, YouTube. Welcome to All Facts Random. We bring you some of the most fascinating facts about things on, above, and beyond our home planet. If that's how your brain likes it, don't forget to like and share this video. If you're new here, do subscribe to All Facts Random for more content like this by clicking the subscribe button and the bell icon to not miss any of our future videos. If you are already a subscriber, then welcome back. Number 1. Egyptology. There is an entire branch of science dedicated to the study of ancient Egypt. Such is the richness of its history, language, literature, religion, architecture, and art, and there are meticulous studies on all of them for most of the 5,000 years it was active. It is widely regarded as a branch of archaeology. Ancient Egyptians' need to record events in a well-organized and chronological manner made it easier than it would have been. These recordings complemented various historians' accounts quite well. The kings themselves appointed scribes to record kings' lists detailing important events during their reigns. Number 2. One country. By around 3400 BCE, there were Upper Egypt in the south and Lower Egypt in the north. I know what you're thinking. No, they knew their directions pretty well. The reason for this naming was with respect to the river Nile, which was the lifeblood of the civilization. Nile starts in the highlands of East Africa in the south and flows down to the Mediterranean in the north, hence Upper and Lower. One Egypt was created around 3200 BCE by unifying the lands, and the king was titled the unifier of the two lands. This was reflected in the red and white crown having the cobra and the vulture for the lower and upper lands respectively. Interestingly though, a lot of kings that followed had the title of the unifier of the two lands. Number 3. Calendar. Did you know that ancient Egyptians had a functional timekeeping method from about 3000 BCE with a calendar that is similar to the modern one in use today? The ancient Egyptian calendar had 365 days in which there were 12 months of 30 days each and 5 extra days to celebrate the birthdays of the gods and to synchronize better with the solar year. What's fascinating is the fact that they had only 3 seasons of 120 days each, and all of these were based on farming, as farming was the primary occupation for most ancient civilizations. They were the season of flood, growth, and low water. Number 4. Pharaoh. The word Pharaoh, which is used today to describe the kings of ancient Egypt, was introduced after a few centuries following the unification. Initially, the king was considered as a connector between humankind and the divine. The king symbol had a falcon to represent Horus, who is an important deity, his name, and finally the facade of his palace. Did you know that the word Pharaoh comes from the word Pera, which literally means great house, and the reference was clearly to the palace? But after a while, it caught on to represent the king as well. You know, like we say the White House or the Kremlin instead of the president's name when talking about major decisions. Number 5. Pyramids. Okay, I know this is straightforward when anyone talks about ancient Egypt, but there are some lesser known facts about these magnificent structures. The tallest of the pyramids dates back to about 2500 BCE, and it was the tomb of the Pharaoh Khufu. This is the Great Pyramid of Giza. This is the oldest member of the 7 ancient wonders of the world by far, and the only one standing. His son Khafre wanted his pyramid to be taller and is the one next to his, and is 10 feet shorter, but it looks taller as it is on higher ground. Did you know that the name pyramid comes from the Greek word pyramis, which is a type of wheat cake, sometimes triangular in shape? The Great Pyramid was built using about 2.3 million stone blocks, and it was the tallest man-made structure for thousands of years. The popular Sphinx was not built with the Great Pyramid, but was erected by Khufu's son Khafre much later with his pyramid. Did you know that the oldest pyramid is not the Great Pyramid, but a lesser known step pyramid in Saqqara? This was the resting place of King Djoser, designed by the legendary Egyptian architect and healer Imhotep, and was built about a century before the Great Pyramid. It is also the world's oldest monumental structure built entirely of stone. Number 6. Mummies. No, I'm not going to talk about the scary films that you watched as a child. Did you know that for a few decades mummification was a natural process? The corpses would be placed in shallow graves in the desert in order to avoid using the already less fertile land, and the sand in the desert coupled with the sun would dehydrate the body, thus preserving it for a very long time. Once artificial mummification started, they removed the organs and dehydrated them before placing them back in the body. Ancient Egyptians had 4 vital organs that they considered were needed in the afterlife. They were the stomach, intestines, lungs, and liver. These were usually not placed in the body, but in separate jars outside the body. Did you know that the initial coffins were square in shape? The corpse was placed in a fetal position inside. It later became rectangular, and finally the body-shaped coffins that we normally associate mummies with. Did you know that the ancient Egyptians had a system where the living could ask help from the dead? You see, they believed that the afterlife involved places where offerings such as money would be needed. So, the living would place these offerings at the tomb and the dead would help the living with their problems. All the living people had to do was write a letter and place it in a jar in the tomb and wait for the help. If the help never came, they wouldn't give the offering. So it's a cool reciprocal system if you ask me. We hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more awesome videos like this in the future.